Molly, it is Wednesday, May 3rd. It is not April anymore. And this is Who's to Say. My favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry. By the way, you went to the ice cream museum and told me all about it. And it sounds so enjoyable. And strawberry is my favorite ice cream flavor. I'm very boring when it comes to ice cream, actually. I mean, I'll eat fancy ice cream flavors with lots of things in them, but mostly I just like strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. I eat Neapolitan ice cream. I love pistachio ice cream. I love coffee ice cream. My husband makes a green tea ice cream that is delicious. So yeah, I'm kind of a single flavor ice cream person. Today I didn't really know what to talk about, so we're going to talk about books. This should not be surprising. I decided to go over my reading list because I am being the slowest reader this year. I usually read probably like on an average month, 1 to 2 books a month. I have read 2 books this year, and it's May. So I just am being a really, really slow reader this year. And so I have decided that I have to set some reading goals. So I just picked up the next 5 books that are on my reading list. And I'm just going to tell you what they are. That's pretty much it. That's going to pretty much be this video. So I'm currently reading The Fall of the Kings by Ellen Kushner and Delia Sherman. I've been rereading this series this year. Pretty sure I've already mentioned that in these videos. I really like the smell of this particular book. Anyway, it's kind of a slow read for me because I've read it so many times. And usually when I read these books, I read them in the background of reading other things because I've read them so much that I can do that. I know the story well enough that I can kind of weave in and out of it. But I am reading them this time with the specific purpose of reading them as my main book. So that's actually probably why I've only read the first 2 of those this year, because turns out I'm kind of slow at it. I think because I still read them at the same pace when I read, as if I were reading other things at the same time, only I'm not reading other things at the same time. But the other books that are on my reading list, kind of next, not necessarily in this order, just these are the next books that I'm going to kind of read through. In the Woods by Donna French. A friend of ours, Kate, highly recommends these books, so I picked up this one. It is the first one. I don't know if they're precisely a series or just related. I think they're a series. Girls on Fire by Robin Wasserman. I've been wanting to read this book for ages, so I finally just bought it so that it's here and I can get to it eventually. I would check it. I've checked it out from the library probably half a dozen times, and I've always returned it before getting around to reading it. So clearly the solution there was just to buy it so that I always have it. This is actually a book of poetry. A Change of World by Adrienne Rich. I love Adrienne Rich. So I've decided to start reading her poems in order. Not that that really matters. It's just a thing that I've decided to do. So this is her first book of poetry that I'm going to read. I've read a lot of things out of it. I've just never read the actual book of poetry. And then the other thing I'm going to read this summer is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. Since You've Been Gone, which is another book by Morgan Matson, I read last summer and really, really loved it. I really like her books. They're very summery to me, so I try to read one every year. Usually she has a new one. So this is her most recent one, and it's on my list. So what are you reading right now? What do you want to be reading? Let's talk books. We haven't done that extensively yet. And I hope you're having a good week. I'm having a super busy week. My first 2 days of this week were just chaos. So I will talk to you next week, Molly.